And welcome back to White Claw Wednesday. Hey Ryan, could you just do me a favor? I didn't even see that numbers going. I just want to make sure we're live here. We're live.
We are live.
We're live. Hell yeah. Okay, that's 111. That's real life right there. We've just had technical difficulties the last couple episodes, so it would just suck to like start an episode and like just not have it recording at all. So here we are. We're recording episode 111, and it is February 22nd, 2022. On a Tuesday. So we got 3 1s and we got a lot of 2s going on.
Yes.
So let's crack open these 2 claws as Ryan makes technical adjustments. Ryan is both Jamie and Joe at the same time for those Joe Rogan fans out there.
Just call me JJ. Call me JJ.
Dude, I like that a lot, actually.
Here we go.
Fits perfectly. Wow, this really does taste like a brisk.
All right, people. All right. 222.
222.
No, 222.
Yeah. You know what I hate about days like these?
02. Yeah.
It puts so much pressure on the day.
It does.
Where I feel like it's a normal day for most, and it's like, damn, this is a once in a lifetime kind of number thing, and it just felt like a normal Tuesday. That's because I remember 999. I remember when 999 happened. I was 11, you were 12, and I remember thinking the same thing. Like, man, comes and goes, dude.
There was something
Another
this
day.
year that it was actually a really cool date. I think it was like April 3rd, 2021.
Oh yeah, 4321.
4321.
Yeah. See,
So,
that
like,
one totally went over. You know
it's
what?
like, but it's backwards.
I probably did notice that day of, and I was like, oh, cool, 4321.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, it's gonna be like every other day.
Yeah, Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the only incentive to have like a cool date is if you actually do something big on one of these days, like get married. By the way, everyone, my voice, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We had my bachelor party this past weekend.
Yeah, we did. It was.
And things got a little crazy.
I gotta say, like,
what a blast.
What a blast. I mean,
Yeah.
So saying perfect weekend doesn't really do it justice.
It's just, honestly, it was amazing.
Everything went well. You know, even the moments of worry and
even the bad moments
even the bad moments
bad.
Even the bad moments were the good kind of bad moments because
they're like the memorable.
They're the memorable parts because that's the great thing about a bad moment is if you can stop it from becoming permanent. You know? Because you know what I mean? Like think about if we hadn't saved the boat when it was almost about to beach at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you and Sam don't figure that out.
Yeah.
We have damage to the boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when you're in bad moments, you got to get out of them before they become permanently bad.
That's true.
And that's why all our bad moments were good.
Yeah.
Because they were right on the edge, and then we saved them. Just like with you almost stepping off a cliff. Like first night we went on a little hike and we found a nice little lookout point.
Yeah.
And Ryan, we're taking photos with Ryan, of course, you know, one at a time group, and we're doing different shots.
We're doing all the different combos.
All the combos, exactly.
We're just comboing it up.
And someone says to Ryan, "Oh, watch out, Ryan! Like you're really close to the edge." And then Ryan, you know, being in his party state as we all are, he starts joking about, "Oh, am I?" And he kind of just starts like doing this like fake like stumble back thing. But guys, I'm telling you, this was the moment for me the whole weekend where my heart actually skipped a beat.
Dude, I don't remember doing that. I remember doing all the photos. And I remember skipping a rock from like 100 feet in the air. Oh yeah! Somehow magically I skipped it one time.
I do remember we got really into rock skipping so much that our arms were sore.
Yeah, my arm still kind of hurts, and I've got this really really gnarly knot in my back, and I feel like my posture's all like I feel like my shoulder just is locked back here.
Maybe it's because of your sleeping outside the last 2 nights.
I think so.
Yeah.
And oh man, that last night with the air mattress was so uncomfortable. So, by the way, I mean, we didn't even say this, but we went to Lake Havasu, and we got a houseboat. Mm-hmm. Me and the boys and my brother just out there drinking an insane amount of alcohol. I mean, it was heinous how much alcohol we had.
Like, we drank the amount of alcohol that I thought would kill one of us.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you said, all of this is going to be gone, and we literally killed everything except for
75% of a blue label,
Johnny Walker, which was arguably the nicest alcohol.
That was
most expensive alcohol we had there.
But also once you reach like the expensive range of alcohol, it kind of becomes like a connoisseur thing.
I agree.
And where we're not a bunch of alcohol connoisseurs, like
Yes.
we're still
Yes.
like 20s having a good time, you know?
Right. Right.
So like it's going to be lost on us the greatness of why it tastes so bad, but also that's supposed to mean it tastes good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like Sam wasted his shot, by the way. Sam wasted an expensive shot of Johnny Walker.
Did. Don't tell Interpret that.
Well, I mean, Interpret might listen to this.
No, I
episode.
think he knew.
But yeah, apparently, I mean, at this point, I'm already passed out, so I missed this shot. But Sam told me that he's got a shot of Johnny Walker as everybody's taking it, and he just stood there with it in his hand and just kind of waited for everybody to like forget that everybody just took a shot.
This was like the cool down Sunday night.
Yeah,
everyone's like, "There's no more drinking happening," and then fucking Interpret comes out with shots.
Yeah,
bro.
And Sam just waits for everybody, and then he just acts like he's going to go pee, and he just throws it over the boat.
There we go.
And Scott also got caught wasting a shot of something. Was it Brady? I remember Brady calling out Scott for doing the classic over the shoulder move.
See, and I was probably right there.
Yeah.
Didn't even know. Yeah, there was just a bunch of great moments like that.
Yeah.
We won't get into the nitty gritty details, but we had a good time.
Oh my God, yeah.
There was a slide. There was a jacuzzi on the boat too.
That's what was so crazy to me.
It's
like,
got to be considered a yacht, right? I mean,
it's the size of a yacht.
I mean, it's a houseboat.
It's a houseboat.
It has to be.
It's almost like it was weird to me. It felt like
maybe it doesn't go fast enough to be considered a yacht. I feel like a yacht, you have to have some serious control.
That must be what it is.
Yeah,
because I felt like this is what a yacht is, but it isn't what a yacht is. Because a yacht to me has the same sort of size and the same sort of you can live on this boat. That same vibe,
same dynamics too.
Exactly.
Like, you got your big front.
It looks like a boat. A boat.
Yeah.
Because what we were on looks like a boat, but it doesn't look like yachts have. They're just intimidating and they look badass.
They're just massive.
They look
boats.
fast and they look. They basically look like normal like speedboats in a sense, but just multiplied in size and a huge level. And that's where I think I never thought of this, but speed. Probably the reason why they look like that is because they're just built for going a whole lot faster.
Yep.
Because you can take them like you can. I assume if you own a yacht, you can just do your own cruise.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could
just hire a staff to work on the boat, and then you
just
go.
like a river cruise,
Yeah, and you like imagine
how much cash do you have to have in your life
to have
to
a yacht,
own a yacht
and go on a cruise with it,
and go on a cruise to where it's like a cruise.
Well, you have to. I think if I had to guess, I would say you have to be a billionaire.
I'd say and
I say that because
you have to be making. I'm gonna say you have to be making $15 million a year. That's my guess. Like that's income coming in, and then you're investing more and getting
And I say billionaire because I think billionaire is the only grouping that does that and doesn't feel like a hit from it.
Yeah.
Like think about
they could do that whenever they wanted.
Yeah, like think about a normal person treating themselves, like going to the movies or something, or buying something new.
Yeah,
that's like it doesn't feel. That's like I feel like hell yeah, that I love that. I enjoyed doing that, and I didn't have to like break the bank.
Right.
Like I didn't make a dent in a way. And then like billionaires, it's like the only way that you can be like I didn't make a dent with that and take your own cruise with a yacht is like you got to be a billionaire. Because you think about how much a yacht costs. Yachts are probably $1 million for a yacht, and you think about filling it with a staff and paying them for a period of time to drive the boat, to
fancy
clean
food
the boat,
too,
cook the food,
good chefs. I mean, you gotta
pay for all the food to come on the boat,
housekeeping,
pay for the boat fuel to go from island to island to island.
Yeah.
There's just so many different funds, and just that it ends up being like millions, like a $1 million, like a multi-million-dollar trip.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only way a multi-million-dollar trip doesn't make you notice a significant chunk in your bank account gone, that has to be billionaires.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Because millionaires, they have millions of dollars, but if they go out and spend millions of dollars at once, they're going to notice a shift in the millions they have, right? I mean, that only makes sense to a poor person like me.
I feel like millionaires nowadays aren't even that rich. Like if you make $1 million, you have $1 million in the bank.
You have $1 million in the bank, yeah.
You're not getting that far. It's like you got you got you want to retire and you want to be frugal.
Yeah.
Depending on what bills you have, it could be you got 10 years up to maybe you could probably stretch it to 20, 25.
Yeah.
But I mean, nowadays, I feel like you got to have $1 million in the bank to retire, at least.
Probably.
Like
thinking about it, like
unless you have no bills somehow.
Yeah, no bills.
or you've paid off your house. Maybe you could probably do it for a little less, to be honest. But
it's really all just a lifestyle thing. It has to be, right?
oh yeah, for sure. No, 100%.
And imagine someone who has no responsibilities, like in the sense of like they're just isolated as an individual. They don't have to deal with anything. Like they don't have to support anything except themselves.
Kids, student loans,
all that. Yeah, exactly.
I can literally only think of kid things.
That's exactly yeah.
Soccer practice.
Yeah,
that
soccer practice. Yeah.
Did you know in Europe, soccer is free to play?
What? Like you can just
like
join the local league or something?
It's free to play somehow. I don't even understand how it works because they always say soccer should be free to play in America. And I'm like, how would that work? You know? But now, like, you know, you have to have money in order to play in good teams because the good teams cost a lot of money.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, if you're
talking
talking
like 400, 500 a month.
Yeah, if you're talking about like games on weekends and like travel team and like playing
travel
against
team, you're going around the nation, that type of stuff. Yeah.
That always costs money in America. But something as simple as let's kick the soccer ball around costs whatever a soccer ball costs at the store.
I mean, for sure. But
but that's not the same thing.
No,
you know what
two
I mean?
different
It's
things.
not the same thing. You know,
you got to get scouted. You got to, you know.
Yeah. But that's what would be amazing about someone who was able to like. I mean, this probably has never happened, but I would be very interested to know if you took like all the professional athletes ever and you looked at their levels of success and then you compared it to how much money did they put into their sport before getting paid to do it. You know what I mean?
Prepaid, yeah.
Yeah. So that would be I'd be interested in seeing that.
I'd be willing to bet that if soccer was free to play in America, oh dude, we'd be so raw. I mean, we'd probably be so good. Just imagine the amount of talent we have here.
Yeah, yeah, and it's if you make something easily accessible, then it becomes extremely popular, and almost everybody's doing it. Which you said Europe is free to play. That's what you've heard.
At least in England.
Okay, well,
that's all. Because I don't know how it works. If the government pays for it or if the city pays for it, I really don't know. But somehow it's quote unquote free to play there.
Yeah, because I feel like I hear soccer fans say like, "Oh, that's funny. That's cute." You know that many people watch the Super Bowl because that many people watch like a normal game of like Manchester versus.
Dude, I saw something go around.
Whoever else is huge.
Going around social media that the Super Bowl attendance was like nothing in comparison to like a cricket final or something. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
but I feel like it has to do with the stadium too. I feel like the Super Bowl could fill out if it had, I don't know, 80,000 seats or I don't know, whatever big stadium is nowadays.
I'm pretty sure I'm assuming SoFi was sold out for the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, no, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was.
It's my immediate guess. You having some Bachelor playing there?
Dude, I'm telling you, I got knots everywhere, man.
Damn, dude.
I got knots.
I'm in terms of like, I just have some like random like scratches and bruises, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Justin's banged up, man.
Yeah.
His whole leg has scratches on it and stuff.
Yes, I did.
No idea from what.
Yeah, I got a few scratches on my arm and then I got a big old bruise on my knee and
well, the bag slaps were what hurt my thumb. Dude, and you know what?
Yeah, the bag slaps.
So we were slapping the bag, and for everyone that doesn't know what that is, it's basically you hold a wine bag up and you just slap it as hard as you can,
and then you chug it.
It's honestly really fun.
It is like, amazing. It's kind of like saying
the best and worst thing to do.
It's sort of like saying, "Hey, let's play a game. On the count of 3, everybody drink."
Yeah.
It's almost it's one of the simplest forms of a drinking game.
Yeah.
But there's just something so fun about being the guy who's holding it, and also being the guy who's slapping it.
It's so easy to get a party going. With to get wine.
Exactly to get a party going.
It's almost even better than. It's almost it's on par with like Rage Cage, I think.
Yeah, Rage Cage can be tough though because like a lot of the times it depends on what kind of Rage Cage game you got going, which is why it was so much, and also the skill level of the players. It was so much fun to play with Ryan's 2 East Bay buddies, Matt and Brady.
They're not that good. Don't hype them up right now.
Well, I'm not trying to hype them up. I know they're gonna listen to this, but hello guys, by the way.
No,
much love. I mean, you guys.
It's so much fun because
you guys are extremely talented. From what I've seen, from the like I said, they probably remember me saying this, but I was coming from a level of Riverside skill that just wasn't lining up with what they knew to do.
Also, you got to remember, we weren't a big beer dye campus. Beer dye wasn't a thing for us.
That's true.
So
East Bay beer died, not a thing.
When we would party, we would play beer pong
And Rage Cage.
Yeah.
Which,
honestly, I feel like Rage Cage was more popular, especially when there's, it wasn't just like bros hanging out.
And don't you think,
because you want to get the ladies involved and stuff.
Yeah, but don't you think that's the same way it was in Riverside in high school when we went to parties?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was,
I mean, we didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just did Rage Cage and beer pong.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying is like a lot of the times like I'm just used to like Rage Cage being this thing where it's like, okay, like wherever the ball is, wherever the bouncing in the cup is going on, like that's the zone of like those few players are they're locked in, and then everybody else around the table is just sort of like lounging, and especially when you have like a party full of a wide variety of people and you have like 2 or 3 players who have never played before, and they will just halt the game immediately, so it gets to the point where like you could be playing a game of Rage Cage and you feel like you're uninvolved. But the great thing about what we had going with the Bachelor Party is that Brady and Matt established this, okay, we're going to get on the sides of, because I like them because they actually did the whole name of the game. Like they made it
cage.
They created the roll. Thought about that. Yeah, they created the roll credits moment that I've never seen in Rage Cage.
Yeah,
because I've always been able to skate by because it's really not hard to like bounce the ball in.
It's not. This table was almost too good.
Exactly.
It's like you had to get the perfect amount of pressure. Just imagine like the perfect Rage Cage table where you don't need to throw it hard. It's all about the angle. Yep. That was the table we were playing on, and that's why I was just tossing.
Oh my God, Ryan had established this amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. Ryan was unstoppable.
I don't know. I never play like that. I don't know what happened.
And it was crazy to me because
it was like bouncing on a marble, like a marble table. You just like,
imagine Ryan taking a ping pong ball and just holding it up at a certain height, depending on whether he was bouncing the ball into a single cup or the stack. He's just adjusting height, and once he reaches his height, he just lets the ball. He would just let the ball go, and the ball would fall down and bounce up and land in the cup. And I swear, he was shooting. I think he was shooting like 85%.
Dude, I want to say I only missed like
ridiculous
15 shots that entire, and we were playing for like an hour.
We played a lot of games.
Yeah.
And going back to Matt and Brady, they have a lock on those rules in a sense where they know how to manipulate and kind of like cheat and do the street ball rules, where they're like.
We were definitely playing street ball.
We were playing street ball for sure.
That wasn't regulation, if there was regulation. But.
Yeah, I mean, but there were some moves there where I was just like, there were some times where I would get stacked by either Matt or Brady, and I was just stunned that it happened. I'm like, they did it.
They'd also do the thing where
they'd wait, they'd hold it.
Yeah. And immediately when you got past, they would stack you.
They'd stack you,
so
yeah.
Like,
they'd wait. So it's like, there were a couple times where I'm just like, wait, what?
That's street ball. See, that wouldn't fly like a regular. Yeah, that's so cheap, ball.
But that's what's fun about. That's why that's some of the greatest Rage Cage I've ever played is because they kind of established themselves as like the bruisers of the game. So everybody around everybody around the table isn't like, twiddling their thumbs because they're witnessing someone just getting hounded in the cage.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when the game becomes entertaining. Yeah. Is you're almost like, oh my God, I hope we don't play another game and they don't end up next to me. That's what was kind of fun. It's like every game was like they were choosing their victim.
Yeah.
And it was, survival of the fittest. And I remember at the start of that game, they got me so good in that game. I was just, it was just stacked.
You must have done 5 or 6.
Oh, I did 5 or 6 in a row. Yeah. It got so bad that Brady felt bad because I was just like, I was burping up after the 6th one, and he just took down like my 7th cup and we played on. But man.
Yeah, good times. It was honestly such a great weekend.
It was. And I remember saying to you on Sunday, man, 3 days isn't enough. It was one of those.
We could have kept going.
We could have. Yeah,
we could have kept going, but it's okay. 3 days is plenty.
No, that's what was funny about the saying is that I can't believe it was as long as it was. But even at the end of it, like driving home, I was like, man, that was so much fun. Like I'm still really bummed it's over. You know what I mean?
It was a great weekend because you get to the end, and you're heading home, and you're like, God, I can't wait to be home. But honestly, I could have kept going.
That's exactly that.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
That's how I felt.
I was like, God, I can't wait to be in my bed. But at the same time, I don't know. I felt like we could have kept doing that. I feel like I could have gone for a week, honestly.
Yeah. So are we going to be able to recreate the energy at the wedding? Is everybody who was at the bachelor party going to be at the wedding? Is everybody RSVP'd?
Yes. I hope that it's not that crazy, but
oh yeah, no, I'm not trying to say like we go back to that level of crazy. I'm just trying to say, like, it'd be great for everybody to be there so we can get the reminiscent going.
Oh yeah,
you know
dude.
what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now that we've created the bond, which
100%.
is another amazing thing. I mean, Ryan gets his buddies from college, and then he gets his buddies from
really
high school,
just
and
so
they just blended. We blended like perfectly.
Yeah, it was just like my buddies from college, buddies from high school,
and your brother.
Two different types. Yeah, and my brother.
That's like
and two different types of best friend groups, and
and it all just
came
together.
The beauty, man, just made me so happy.
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
Anyways,
and I'm really bummed I missed the pizza night. I missed all.
Well, you didn't miss the pizza night, but you missed the pizza.
I missed the pizza. Yeah, I didn't miss the pizza.
Where'd you go, Frank?
I missed the pizza. People were cutting pizza while I was just laying. Like I'm laying on the floor of the kitchen, and right above that, the pizza's being sliced.
He's on his mattress. Yeah.
The wine bag slap. The wine bag slaps finally got to me on the third night.
Yeah, those are dangerous, man. I wasn't expecting wine bags to be on the boat. Gotta say.
Oh, you didn't know those were going to be there? Okay.
I didn't know anything. Yeah. Sam had that on lock.
He did keep it very, very.
He kept it real low key, and I'm happy he did because, everything was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, he even kept the individual bottles sort of.
Yeah.
Locked down too.
And the slideshow, that was a nice touch.
That was a nice touch. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to talk about Bachelor Party this entire time.
Oh yeah, I mean it's too. Yeah, it's
let's
just us reminiscing here.
Dude. Russia just invaded Ukraine.
So that happened.
It happened today or yesterday, maybe. I don't know.
We don't know the way the time zones work.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay, but today our time in a way.
Yeah.
Russia invaded Ukraine.
But let me explain. So you haven't heard anything.
Well, I have heard about this current debate America is in and whether or not we step in and help out Ukraine. That's pretty much the question that's flying around the American government right now, from what I take.
Yeah, I mean, we've already provided military aid, but I think it's like, do we want to send the troops there? Is it to that point? And I honestly don't think it's ever going to get to that point. But who knows? Mm-hmm. Who knows? So what's happening is Putin's like trying to get around this whole, I'm invading Ukraine type deal, because technically the areas that he has invaded were Russian, like, separatists occupied, where Russia fed them guns and money and all that, and
he's trying to loophole invade in a way.
He's loopholing. He's the separatists are controlling it. Oh well, I'm just going to annex them because they want to be with us. That type of deal. So now he's invaded. He invaded Crimea in 2014, and now he's invading eastern Ukraine, and I don't know. I think it might end here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think he can keep going. Because once you surpass the separatist reasons and you start actually going into Ukraine, I don't know, man. I think that's a bad problem to have right there. You're clawing away at too much. Ukraine might lose those areas. It might come down to this, what he's controlled at this point. Yeah. Europe and America's like, okay, like you take this, but nothing else. I don't know though. I don't know.
What is it? What does a 2022 invasion look like?
Isn't it insane? Like
our tanks, rolling through the buildings, like in World War II and stuff, or is it more of a, what's the modern version of that? I don't even know. How do you invade it?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a weird time to invade. It's like the 21st century.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, maybe we're just coming at it because we have the point of view of Americans, but at the same time, it's like.
But was Ukraine ever part of Russia?
Yeah,
right. Didn't it used to be?
Well, the USSR,
the US, yeah,
which is like the old school Soviet Union,
Yeah, and then Ukraine decided to not. To do their own thing.
I don't know what it's called, but I guess declared their independence.
Is it the level? Is this the same level as if the freaking British rolled up right now and we're like, yeah, you guys are part of us again? I don't know if it's.
I can't. But I'm just trying to imagine that.
Yeah, no, it's kind of wild to think.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think it's more of. It's like they're really culturally similar from what I've read, and I mean, I feel like Ukraine and Russia go hand in hand. When you're just thinking about the world.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think the fact that NATO, now have you heard about this NATO situation where NATO's Eastern European countries are joining NATO, which is like, I don't know what, it's like the Nations League of friggin' the good guys or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's pissed because all the Eastern European countries are joining, and Ukraine's thinking about joining.
Vladimir Putin is
Vladimir
pissed.
Putin.
Yeah.
I mean, probably all of Russia, but
yeah.
So, he's like, no, you guys can't have that. Like, you can't take Ukraine. It's like if someone came in, if like Russia got Canada to join and like was a communist, the United States would be like, nah, like you can't do that. Like Canadians are, just right there. And
that's true.
We're, very culturally similar, us and Canada, I think, as far as who would be the most cultural, we have the most cultural similarities.
I would agree with you on that, just because of we're connected.
We're connected. We have an open border.
Then also we just have the whole.
Well, we don't have an open border, but we have there's no wall basically.
Yeah, and think about.
We're not trying to guard it.
Think that we have a lot of Canadians who move to America and live here, and then vice versa.
Vice versa.
And the lifestyles of
very easy to get a Canadian passport. All that stuff. Yeah.
And not that I know what it's like to live in a really cold, snowy climate, but I'm assuming that the lifestyle of someone in the snowy cold of Minnesota is the same as the snowy cold of Ontario or whatever.
And they also have like similar accents too.
Yeah.
So.
So
we'd be pissed.
Yeah, we'd
if
be
they
pissed.
tried to do that.
We'd be like, okay, no, they're
or join their military alliance.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that seems to be happening with Ukraine, and Russia's not very happy about it.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like they've always thought that Ukrainian land should be part of Russia, just because a lot of like when Russia first started, I think it actually started in Ukraine. Like that was the hub, and then they eventually went eastward. So things are coming to a head.
Yeah, it's almost like
could we see a war, like an actual war?
Yeah,
between not just them.
It seems like there was a certain level of difference that Russia was okay with Ukraine hitting, and now that they've reached the level of like, okay, we're not really lining up anymore like we want to. We gotta take over again.
Well, there was a president that was recently Western leaning, quote unquote, like trying to be an ally with the West.
Yeah,
and he got elected,
and that would mean like taking
America's side,
the route of capitalism, basically.
Yeah, capitalism. I mean, they've been a democracy for a while, I think, but actually allying with the West and trying to join NATO. It's like the only reason you'd want to join NATO is to protect you from Russia. Like, what else is there? I mean, China, but they don't. I feel like China just is more of a chess player, than a brute force.
And what about? Well, I don't. That's the thing. Like, is South Korea? I mean, wait, North Korea. My mistake. Is North Korea just a what's the word? Are they bluffing? There we go.
I think they are.
In terms of being like we're trying to present ourselves as an intimidating force of the world. Are they really that? That's what I've always wondered.
Truthfully, I don't think that North Korea would last very long if they attacked another nation.
Okay, yeah,
ever.
Because they just it just seems too small to me.
And even if they had nukes, and they don't have the resources, they don't have trade. I mean, just imagine. Yeah. That's all. That little piece of land. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a lot of land.
It's still. But compared to other
everyone else, natural resources. I mean, they're doing a lot of it just by very limited trading with China. Yeah. So they wouldn't last a week, man. And if they did nuke someone, man, it'd be bad news, man. It'd be bad news.
It'd be bad news for them. For them, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be cool.
Because that's the thing that's so. I mean, let's just take it there.
Let's just do it.
Nuclear war.
I was gonna say
is something that is so. At this point in our lives, is so astronomically stupid for everybody involved that I like to think that it's never going to happen.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a possibility of it happening in 2022, 2023 with this Russia-Ukraine thing? And do you think, like, let's say North Korea. I don't want to say Russia because Russia, I don't think will do that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're. I don't want to say dumb enough to do that, but I just think it wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
For both parties, like we're saying. But let's say North Korea, because they're so secluded and I don't know, the leader's crazy and thinks he's a god, actually does something like that. Do you think we retaliate? Like, let's say North Korea tries to nuke Hawaii, or they nuke Japan or something, or South Korea, whatever. Do you think
that we retaliate?
That they get nuked back? I don't think they do.
You don't think we nuke them back?
I don't think we do. I think we just go in there.
We just go in there with military?
I think so.
Damn.
I don't know, man. I can't see it. I can't see it happening.
Yeah, I guess I.
You know what I'm saying?
In terms, because now I'm thinking about, and when you think about a nuke, it's just like, that's the.
We're too progressive now to do that. You know. I don't know. Who knows though?
Fighting with nuclear weapons is the most statistic based way to fight. In the sense of where it's like you're not thinking about an area as individual people, but you're just thinking about it as an area and one singular idea. And that's where it's like that's where I agree with you in a sense where I also don't think that if that were to happen today that America would, immediately nuke North Korea. I think we would go in there with, soldiers and military and we'd take it over. And that's simply because we're not going to say that it's a good idea to kill an entire group of people when there could be, 50% or more of those people that have ideologies in line with us and are good people too.
Well, we just
we just
wasn't
don't know.
Their choice.
Exactly. Exactly. They were born into it and they're not in charge and they're following rules.
Right,
and it would just be wrong to group them in as one category and one belief. Like that's what's ridiculous and like that's what's crazy about nuclear warfare at all is that it's just like as soon as you send it, it's just like you're making a statement of like you're all one person in a sense. Like we're putting you into one, like your whole group of people that we are about to destroy, we are defining with one sentence basically. And that's just too.
So how do you think
wrong? Yeah.
How do you think? Okay. So from what I've heard about, the Hiroshima and, what was the other city that got nuked? Was it Nagasaki?
I think
Nagasaki. I'm sorry, I should know this, but Hiroshima is like the big one that I know of. I remember reading about how we warned Japan, telling them we have this incredibly dangerous weapon.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, nice, Ryan.
Yeah, you got it.
How do you think history would have changed if
we hadn't done that?
First of all, we hadn't done it, and or they said, okay, like it's over,
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Do you think someone would have actually dropped a bomb?
Yeah, that's one of those things where
someone had to have done it by now. Right?
I think
probably us. That's probably us.
That's exactly what I was just same thought I'm having. Is it's one of those things where it's kind of like it's weird to relate it to texting and driving, but it's like what immediately pops into my head in the sense where
it's like familiar to us,
Exactly. Like you think about the amount of people who have looked at their phones in one way or another when driving, and you think about all the people who didn't create a fatal accident while doing that.
Yeah.
And they'll continue.
I'm guilty of it too.
Exactly, and I'm guilty of it too. And it's like and
shout out to CarPlay now.
Society will continue to likely, take that risk of looking at your phone during traffic until you yourself experience something
until it happens to you.
Exactly. It's so drastic that you change. And that's why I think it's the same way. Had Hiroshima and Nagasaki not been bombed, it would have happened either at a different point in history after that date or before. Like it was just something that someone was going to do eventually because of the invention itself,
Right.
Something's invented, it's probably going to get used at least once.
Right.
And if that use is just the worst wrong humanity arguably has committed, if it ranks in there, then like you're not going to see it. There's not going to be a second time,
right?
More than likely.
Well, it's such a messed up way to. I mean, it's stupid saying this, but like, this is going to sound so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a messed up way to wage war, is to just use nukes.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. It's
because it's so not personal, in that you can just fly an airplane over somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the person flying the airplane, releases a hatch or something.
Yeah.
And like, that's it.
Yeah. It's a lot like again. It reminds me of Saving Private Ryan. There's a scene where an American soldier gets killed,
Mm-hmm.
and right as he's like getting stabbed through the heart by
Mm-hmm.
like this German soldier who he's
Mm-hmm.
in a fight with, like he's trying to like he knows he's gonna die,
Mm-hmm.
so he's trying to like talk to the German
He's, like, trying to
soldier.
plead with him.
He's
Yeah.
like, tell me who you are. Like he's trying to figure out like who's the guy who's about to take
Mhm.
my life.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's sort of what, like, to me, what you're talking about.
Mhm.
And like nukes, they completely remove it's weird to say humanity in war, but
Mhm.
I don't know. There's something about just, it's almost like a cheat way of like, it's like involving everybody and also destroying everybody.
Yeah,
But it's also messed up to say, because just war itself in general, just, one side attacking another side with a group of people, that also is
also stupid.
is also wrong and
right?
dumb too. But
like, it's also dumb.
it's just,
There's also this scene in it's a movie I recently watched.
Uh-huh.
It's part of the Kingsman trilogy.
Oh,
it was the Kingsman.
Is it the prequel?
The prequel.
The King's Man.
The King's Man.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where his father's like pleading with him to not go into the army,
Mm-hmm.
and his father's a pretty head honcho in England or whatever.
Yeah.
And he somehow gets his son enlists because he turns 18, and it's
his choice. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm giving away major plot details right now, but I'm
Hey,
already
all
too way
good.
deep.
All good.
And then he's talking to the king at that point.
Yeah, the King of England.
It's the King of England,
Mm-hmm.
and the king is this is World War I. Sorry.
Yeah.
The king, basically stops his son
Mm-hmm.
from actually going out into the field. Like he gave him a type setter position,
Gotcha.
someone behind a desk basically. So he trades identities with someone to go out into the field.
Okay.
He goes out into the field. Basically, like, he gets stuck in no man's land, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're bunkered down two sides.
Yeah, you got both
and
sides.
they just shoot at
Or
each other
shooting
during the daytime.
at each other. Yeah.
And then at nighttime,
And you're in the
they're
middle
scouting.
of it.
Yeah, he's in the middle of it. And and he has to fight this German.
Uh-huh.
And as he's like beating up this German, he's about to win. The German just like starts pleading with him for his life.
Uh-huh.
And there's just this moment of realization. He's like, what am I doing? That
Exactly.
type of,
Yeah.
I mean, at least that's how I perceived it. And then, there's other Germans around him, so he had to kill him and stuff, but
Yeah.
so, which sucks, but
that's the part of war that's so.
and it's hard to
That's why
perceive,
there's a
to understand rather.
Yeah, and there's a similarity between fighting with nukes and fighting with soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
in that both in any war scenario,
Mhm.
you have people deciding the fates of other people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's always the case,
Absolutely.
and that's what's so heavy about the subject itself,
Mhm.
because you have individuals who are
yeah.
making life-changing and life-ending decisions for people that they'll never know.
Yeah. It's like when you always hear about those civilian casualties,
Yeah.
like in the wars in the Middle East. It's just like, wow. I don't know. I don't really fully understand the whole,
It's
what it's for.
yeah.
It just
And it's hard to wrap your head around the reality and the heaviness of dealing with going to war when you just have no experience other than, history books and
yeah,
movies
or
and
you just
television,
have pride in your country, and that's why
Exactly.
you
It's just like,
enlist.
yeah.
And then, all of a sudden you're in a life or death situation, and you have to kill someone.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, one thing just leads to another.
Yeah. And then you have to live with that, and that's got to be something that, like, see, that's what's crazy to me is, like, you think about, you do something dumb in your life and you feel guilty about it,
Yeah.
and it's like it takes you like a day or two to get over it. And it's like, I can't imagine, like,
or even the big things that you continuously remember.
yeah, you
and that
still,
you continuously think about.
and you're like,
has
damn, I wish I
literally
hadn't done that.
has shaped you.
Yeah.
Your coming of age, I have many of those.
Oh, I do too.
I'm like, I'm never doing that again.
But
blah,
then,
blah, 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 blah.
And
but
then you like put it into perspective.
That's nothing.
And it's nothing.
Literally so
minuscule.
Unimportant.
And it's crazy that we even worry about it. And that's the other thing.
And you're the only one that thinks about it because everyone else has forgotten about it, right?
We don't have the gauge of knowing, like, because we don't have a high enough level to compare what's not worth worrying about too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we have these things that always come up to in our minds, like, man, I wish I hadn't done that.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have enough experiences to just outweigh those and make those go away, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is a good way of saying, you know,
everything in perspective. Right?
Everything in perspective.
Everything. Literally everything in life. Put it in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Right, well, I think that's a wrap right there.
Let me just ask you this real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Why do you think Putin didn't do this when Trump was president?
That's a good question. Because I think Putin probably thought of Trump as irrational, you know?
I mean, there's two ways to look at it.
That's really the only way I can think. I don't even know what that even means in a sense of like Putin sitting there thinking about when do I do this, and he's thinking, okay, Trump's in office right now.
You're right.
Maybe
there's one way to look at it. He is irrational, therefore, it's a risk. It can either go really well or really bad.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. Yeah, no, that's a really I didn't even think of that. That was probably a serious consideration for the Russians there, thinking about, okay, do we do this now or do we wait till this guy who's the most unpredictable president of all time leaves office?
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, cool.
Let's close this out.
Episode 111.
111 on 2/2/22.
Tuesday.
Cheers.
Dropping tomorrow on a Wednesday. Cheers.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.
You got it?